let me see some shit here. Then I'll leave.
Um,
It's not time for me yet.
I feel that though, but I just feel like okay, so let's say like me, it's not like I'm inside of me. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
like when I say I don't be here, I don't be here. I don't be here. We
I be
be
in the
out there.
dimensions.
Yeah,
Okay.
you feel me?
Okay. In the
Um,
dimensions.
dimension walker, big shit talk, big shit talker.
They probably gonna be like, what the hell they was talking about before this?
Keep
Hey.
up, keep up. Nah. So, in the grand theater of existence, each of us dons a costume of selfhood, a patchwork of experiences, choices, and aspirations. But what does it truly mean to become yourself? It's not a passive unfolding, it's an intentional act of creation. Our discussion today delves into the labor, the sweat, and the soul searching, the work it takes to sculpt the masterpiece of your own identity. Welcome to the Immersive Experience. I'm your guide, Desi Lou, and tonight we talk about the art of self construction. So, if you haven't already, please make sure you like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at the_immersive experience, and also subscribe to us on YouTube at the Immersive Experience A podcast. And as always, I'm going to let the person to the right of me introduce herself. Well, actually, yeah, you're to the right of me. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey you guys, hey you guys. As you know, my name is Pinky. Well, you don't know. So let me actually say my hey girl. Well, really what I wanted to say was, hey you guys, I am Inner Conversation. I'm basically a safe space of discussion, discovery. I am your resident love spirit guide. I am just here to spread love, to spread joy, to spread positivity, and to just spread your energy back into yourself. A lot of the times we want to go outside of ourselves to fix ourselves, to fix the world. And it's like, I am that space where it's like, let's talk about you. What do you need? So my attention focuses on everything when it comes to self development and self growth. But you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on YouTube, you can find me on TikTok, and that's about it. Hey, you guys.
All
Oh, that's
right.
it, girl.
So we could just hop right up. Well, right before we hop up into it, Miss China, what's
Hi.
up?
Got the
How you
hair
feeling?
going, the ponytail.
And
We love it.
period. Period. Thank
Mm-mm.
you.
Put that ponytail on.
Put it on, y'all, and period.
Well, go
Okay.
ahead and give us you, baby girl.
All day. Oh,
Sugarfoot.
we already did the introduction and stuff. I'm just coming.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just did
Oh,
mine.
ah, see, that's
Perfect
what you just
time.
coming on late.
You came right on time.
Okay, okay. So y'all know how I do it. I'm your girl China V. You can find me on Facebook and on Instagram at Victoria China. Also, you can follow my business page on Instagram at Valet8587. Get on over there and get you some good old butters, y'all. They wonderful, wonderful. And period.
Okay.
So, all right. So, we're just talking about self construction. And this is basically just going to be delving into like understanding more so how we building ourselves, basically. You know, how what you put into yourself, how you feel about these things. We're going to ask some questions, get some answers. Like Ariel, you feel me?
Right.
Okay.
Your world. That's what I'm trying to be. Part of you.
Okay.
All right.
No, my pants
So,
down.
all right.
It's
I
okay.
want to know, why is perception important in the building of self?
Why is perception important?
In the building of self.
I feel like perception is like basically the art of anything you set your mind to, you can accomplish. So with your perception, you're setting your intention to how you want to set out your day. Maybe how you want this food to taste. Maybe how you wanna what you want to cook for the day. What mood and energy you want to be in the day. Like perception really affects. Wait, say the question again, because I was going somewhere with that.
What basically what role does perception play in the building of self?
That it plays an important role when it comes to intention, because with the intention of what you want to do, that is your perspective. Because now that you put a perspective of, okay, the sky is yellow, you looked at the sky, you think the sky yellow, somebody telling you it's blue. No, my perception is yellow, so I don't know what you see. Maybe I'm just colorblind and you not, so perception
Right.
really, it plays a big role. How y'all feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it could be a good thing and a bad thing though. It just depends on if your perceptions don't go the way that you want it to go. You just can't allow that to determine the outcome of whatever situation you're trying to go for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think
Like a
that
good
also
thing.
plays into the conversation that you and I had yesterday, Pinky, when I called you and I was telling you about the lady on Facebook who I was saying she had put her facts together well, you know what I'm saying? And because we call it something different, people will say like, hey, this not that. And we'll get so caught up in trying to teach somebody else that this the
Mhm,
wrong thing that we forego who we are. So that's why we have to have
mhm,
perception. Oh, okay, I'm
Yeah.
able to see
mhm,
how you see it. That's cool. And
Right.
that's why I think
mhm.
it's important in building character. So I agree with y'all though.
Yeah,
So
most definitely.
And I really like how China said it can be a good and a bad thing, because, like, we see it as good and bad, but if we really think about it, since everybody has their perception of good and bad, is it really good and bad? Or is it just like it's whatever the consequence was dealt with what the hand that they played, you know?
Right. Right.
So I really like that too, because it really just sparked my mind into thinking about that. Like, what is good and bad if everybody has a sense of good and bad? Because, a murderer think murderer good, but, us as regular people think you crazy as hell. So,
Right. Right.
you know?
But all it goes back to the perception
Mm-hmm.
of one person's views of
yeah.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's let's say if it's gang activity, you feel me? If
Mm-hmm.
one gang kill the other, you shit, we good. But when they come back, they circle the block. Oh yeah. But somebody sad on both sides. Somebody mourning
Right.
on both sides. It's
Right.
a little it's an Indian proverb, I do believe. And he said that he was like, this is a war before man and politics. And they both fight with passion. God on both sides. That's what he said. And he was like, so and that's what it's like in a basketball game. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
it's up there. Like, hey, what it's up to? It's up to skill, it's up to passion, it's up to who really finna stick it out. We really finna fight this. Like, so what's your perception? Who you letting in your head? Who you letting in your space? So, and I feel like that's important because you gotta cultivate that relationship with yourself to know who shit you carrying with you.
Most
Cause what's not
definitely.
yours? People be putting shit on you. You feel me? Like they'll just be like, here, take this. And we be carrying shit around. But that's how we is. That's where generational curses come from.
Yep.
Yeah, so what do you think keeps us from being ourselves? Like what are some factors that'll keep us from
You.
hey, I agree with you. Hey, yeah, I definitely agree. I agree with that. And the fact that it's us and what are some things that we do
We
to keep
doubt
us.
ourselves. We instead of motivating ourselves, we if like I said earlier, if something don't work out in our favor, we give up too easily or
Mhm.
throw in the towel. We're not determined enough. As far as to see something happen, you got to make it work. And if you're not making mistakes, then something ain't right. You ain't making if you're not making failure is always leading to success at the end of the day. You have to fail to succeed. You got to just keep those trains going
Yeah, I agree with that.
because you're
I
your
really
biggest
like
enemy.
that. Yes, yes.
What's your take on that, Pinky?
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Y'all know I be writing it down. I be having to catch it. But
Oh,
I really love when you say, you your biggest enemy, because I always say an enemy literally is just you betraying yourself. Cause can't nobody outside of you hurt you when you know you. Like I'm too slick for that.
Ooh,
I'm too slick for
Yeah,
that.
I feel
that's
And for
something
me to
Desiree will
even
say. That's a Desiree. That's a Desiree quote right there.
okay. And I always be thinking like for you to feel like somebody outside of you is the enemy, that's basically you saying that God doesn't protect you on the outside of you. So that's when I take it into perspective of like the things that we do to keep us from what was it? Yeah, what do you think keeps us from? Did you say what do you think keeps us from ourselves? Ourselves. It's really that aspect of like, what part of you felt like you had to become somebody else to save somebody else outside of you for somebody to come and fix you? Because that's a thought that I had when I
Ooh.
was growing up. I had a thought of if I got in a relationship with this man and I was gonna save him, build him up, make him everything that I needed for me, he was gonna come back and he was gonna save me. And it was
They
like I
will
had to
come back.
leave myself. But then I learned through that experience, I got the tools on learning how to actually love myself because I did it for somebody else. So now let me just do it for myself.
Right.
Don't ask
And
for it.
some
I feel
people
like it's
don't
good
know
and
how to
bad.
love themselves that well. Some people don't. Some people put everybody before themselves. They don't know how to love themselves enough or love themselves back the way that they love other people. And it's
Yeah,
sad.
no, I
Mm-hmm.
agree with that. Because people
Mm-hmm.
think that they don't have to either, though. So, but and one thing I'll say is you came here whole. You came here whole already. That's something that you did. Like, didn't have to be. You don't have to be made whole. You know what you need. You know what you want. That's how you know. Like, there's people like, oh, you're my better half. Half of what? You're a whole
Yeah.
person. You
Yeah.
gotta walk like the whole person you are. I feel like we forget to think about how much space we take up. And we only think about the
Mm-hmm.
space that's around our toes or the things that's around our bodies, but we take up a lot more space than that. And you
Mm-hmm.
gotta think about the space you take up. We be so used to playing small, serving on our knees, thinking like, oh, okay, how far we really gotta go, what we really gotta get to. But if we stop doing that, if we stop looking at ourselves in the light of we have to appease to everybody else or we need the approval of everybody else to be who we actually need to be, and that's not the truth. Because you was you before anybody else came along. And it's gonna be you at the end of the day. What y'all be thinking we be crying, woe is me. I gotta find myself after that nigga break your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Now I gotta go find myself. Where yourself go? Where you put yourself? You go.
You put
You
yourself in that relationship. You forgot about yourself. That's what happened.
I think I got another take on that.
well,
Cause
go ahead. Give it to me.
I really feel like even though we be saying like we forgot ourselves, did we really though? Because
Yeah,
sometimes
that's
we
how I
gotta get.
feel.
I don't even
We
think so.
did.
How do you
Let us
forget
think about it.
yourself? How do
Hold
you forget
on.
yourself?
Hold on. How is it forgetting yourself if all you knew is to betray yourself? So you didn't forget nothing. You're doing a pattern of what you wanted. So you're not forgetting yourself. You're doing the pattern of what you built and installed for yourself. So we're saying forgetting, but really I went towards a pattern that I already knew. I didn't forget nothing. This was my pattern until I learned a new pattern, until I learned a new value, until I learned a new person. That's why I said, like, I feel like when you get in relationships, sometimes you need to go through what you don't want so you can understand what you do want because you don't even know what you do want because all you know is what you don't want until you don't want it, until you physically have it. So I feel like in saying we lost ourselves, we're still taking away from the fact of we probably got ourselves in that relationship so we could see how we act with ourselves. That's what I always used to say about relationships. I saw the reflection of me that I needed, and when I didn't like it, I looked at myself even more to find out why the hell was I attracted to that. You know what I'm saying? Like really, real shit.
Oh, I
Real
feel
shit.
that though. I feel that 100%. Girl, come on here, Panky. Lord,
Real
your chin
shit.
Panky,
today.
not the
Real
A.
shit.
Come on here,
Real
Panky.
shit.
Like,
For
well,
real.
okay. But
Girl,
I
speak that
feel
knowledge
that.
to us today,
I
girl.
feel that though.
Um,
But in the same
This
retrospect,
thing for you.
I think it's a thing of I know what I want. I've never had to
Yeah.
have anybody tell me what I want. I know what I want. And I know what I want it to feel like. I know what I want it to look like.
Mm-hmm.
I've always you can tell me that you ain't never imagined your wedding. You ain't never I think it's a thing of like this why we go through this phase of like, oh,
Mhm.
just I gotta feel something. I need to feel something. Okay, so make yourself feel something. Who be
Mm-hmm.
feeling like make yourself feel something? And theater taught me that though. It taught me to feel at will, and that's how I had to learn how to deal with my emotions. I used to sweep them bitches under the rug, like what the fuck is them? Get away! Like
Mm-hmm.
get down. Why that hurt so bad? We not dealing with this today. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
doing this. It's like that shit stings a little bit, but we not gonna cry about it. We not gonna do that. But it's actually in the delving into of those emotions, those things, understanding that they don't make you, but they are a part of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so who and I want to ask y'all, like, have y'all ever thought about like who is the person or what is the who is the observer and what are they how are they experiencing these feelings? Because if your feelings are not you, then who feeling them feelings?
Oh, I'm confused. You're gonna have to explain that a little bit more, cause shit. I always thought that I was the one feeling all this shit that I'm observing. So I'm confused.
But then you answered the question. If you was always thought you was the observer, then you know you the other you know you somebody feeling those feelings.
Oh well, then yeah.
And we
Like an
talking about
empath. That's basically what you're talking about, like an empath, right? That's what
yeah,
I'm
like I
getting
know I
from.
could feel these feelings. Who and
Mm-hmm.
who feeling these feelings? Who am I? Who am
Yeah.
I that's feeling those
Who's
feelings?
the what's that say? What's that say? Who's the writer while you're the character?
Yeah.
Basically.
Who
Yeah.
your narrator, basically.
Yeah. 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 That's the
Who's the
word. That's the word.
narrator? Like, yeah,
Mhm.
so if you already know you the observer, then who is the observer?
I feel like it's so funny because you bringing back a memory of like I used to watch Enchanting a really fucking a lot. So when I would watch that Disney movie, I always thought, "Oh baby, they looking at me through the cameras. I'm a superstar." You know what I'm saying? As a kid, I'm always thinking that I'm a superstar and somebody wants to see me. Somebody's gonna recognize me. So I gotta walk out like I know people watching me. So because I knew I always had eyes on me, I always walked out like God was looking at me. Like I walked out in the spirit of, okay, this is how I want somebody to treat me. Cause bitch, they ain't finna catch me slacking. I don't know. It's just for me, I've always felt like somebody was watching me, and it's not in a bad way. That I don't want to be like, oh, I think somebody after me. No, 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 not in a bad way. But just I've always felt like there was like not just a higher entity, but just like people always looking towards me because they ready for me at that company. Are they ready for me at that modeling agency? Are they ready for me to speak somewhere? Like I've always felt like I was important. So I walked with a certain type of demeanor and I acted a certain type of way for my whole entire life because I felt the energy of I'm gonna be somebody. So I'm gonna act appropriately when I get to that stage of my life. You know?
Yeah, I feel that. So you was just being prepared for what was to come.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like that. I could feel that. That I want to ask you guys, how do you cultivate emotional equilibrium?
Can you explain that a little bit?
Equilibrium is more of a emotional balance.
Like
Oh,
neutrality, like that,
Yeah,
like peace.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Say the question one more time.
how
That's
do
so
we
big.
How,
explain it?
how do you cultivate
Oh, cool.
emotional equilibrium? How do you cultivate a balance of knowing when to react, when not to react? How do you cultivate non-competitiveness with the people outside of yourself?
I feel like that comes with growth. Um, you know, cause at this big age, the things that I would do at this big age ain't something that I probably, I wouldn't do at this big age. It's probably something that I would have done at in my 20s.
Hmm.
Early 20s, we was doing some craziness, or we would react off of our emotions, as we tend to do sometimes. It could be the right way or the wrong way. Instead of stopping, thinking about the outcome of that, we react with how we feel in that present time.
Hmm. Feel that?
And you know what you're gonna do before you do it, because you're always thinking
Mhm.
about, I'm finna bust this nigga in the head, and I'm gonna flat this nigga tires. Or I'm gonna egg this motherfucker car. Or I'm gonna go to his job and act a fool. You know
You
what you gonna do before you do it. But at this big age, ask me if it's worth it. It's not.
I feel
No.
that.
So it
But
just
it's
comes with
some
growth.
people at that big age who think it's worth that.
But that
Mhm.
means they ain't really grown into at that level. They're not in that growth yet. Maturity, I feel like, comes with growth.
It does.
Maturity come at any age, though.
It does. It does. And some people are more mature at a certain age than others are.
Absolutely. Pinky?
You know, it's crazy. I was about to say, you know, it's crazy because I had this conversation with this dude one time, and I said, you know, if we promoted the youth to actually work harder when younger and stop fooling around so much, we would actually have more successful people in our generations to come.
I agree with that.
You know, and I've been in this just not battle with myself, but I've been in this mode where I'm like, damn, like, you know, being because I am so young, I be feeling like I know how to balance myself out by staying away from the crowd so much, not trying to do what everybody else does and not trying to always be the first onto something. Because just like Chris said the other day, you know, the youth is always trying to impress the youth. And I feel like one thing that keeps me in balance with myself is not trying to impress nobody, not trying to come outside of my shell, come outside of my element, come outside of what I feel comfortable with to prove to somebody that I got it, or prove to somebody that I can do this and demand my respect. I've always had that center of gravity of knowing, okay, does this feel right to me? No. Let me go inside and see why doesn't this feel right to me? Why does this not align to me? Why is this not making me feel good? I've always known how to be like a turtle and go within my shell and come out when I feel warm enough, when I feel good enough, when I feel like I need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't nobody push me. Motivate. I don't. I used to have an approval addiction. So
Mm-hmm.
like, I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be in people's favor. Like I became I became a tough ass bitch at an early age.
Mm-hmm.
Like in real life, cause I wasn't for nobody shit. Them girls taught me. They my mama had went to Walmart. I still shop at Walmart. It's a great place. And she went to Walmart and she had got us some clothes. She got us two shirts, one pair of pants, some shoes. You feel me? Like, and she was like, "Oh, I'm just learning this neat little trick. You could wear these pair of pants twice and change the short and change the shirt." I'm like, "Cool, can't wait. I'm gonna test it out." Second day I wear those pair of pants, a little bitch clocked me. She like, "Bitch, you had the pants on yesterday, bitch. Why are you in my shit like that?" I didn't even know. What the fuck? After that, I didn't give a fuck. I didn't let my mom do my hair. No, please don't do my hair. I want them to say
Mm-hmm.
something to me. Cause bitch,
Mm-hmm.
I really I cultivated myself off of people telling me that something was wrong with me. Oh bitch, if you're not finna fix it, shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really
Mm-hmm.
how I felt. Like, bitch, what you finna do about it? And
Mm-hmm.
that's how I learned to like be me. I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I don't
Mm-hmm.
when I wake up and I do whatever the fuck I wanna do,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with it. But it go back into what you were saying when you were talking about how you went outside and it was like always the camera on me. And if somebody is watching me, what I want people to know that I do, what I want people to know that I don't do.
Hmm.
So I try to lead a life that whether I'm inside the house or outside the house, oh yeah, baby, this shit's gonna match up. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And if a tape get leaked, hey baby, it's going down. No.
Okay.
Cause I'm
I always
always
said let it be
if
sexy.
yes, the camera rolling. What are you talking about? I'm putting on a show at all times. I don't know what you're talking about. What? I'm the show at all times. It's me. It's on go. Like, and because I always felt that. Because somebody had told me they was like, you need to live as if there's a camera watching you at all times. And I took that
Yeah,
to heart when I
I've
learned
been
that.
told that.
When
I've
I
been
learned that,
told
I
that.
took that shit to heart. Like, okay, if it's a camera watching me at all times, then I always gotta confess. I always
Cause
gotta
shit,
be
somebody always
honest.
watching you, whether you know it or not. Somebody looking at your ass.
Yep. Yep.
That's
I don't
just
Yep.
care who
life.
it is. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And the same thing I do behind closed doors, I'm gonna tell you to your face. I don't, I'm sorry. It's just me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really not sorry. Actually, so in real life, fuck you. But however, so I think this goes back into what you was talking about, Pinky, to how to develop an inner state of mind that is unaffected by by all of the good shit and the bad shit that happens to you as the sky is to the weather. So like the sky gonna be the sky. It don't care if it rain, it don't care if a lightning bolt, it don't care if it's a rainbow in the sky, the the sky gonna sky. It's gonna be like, bitch, I'm still me. I don't give a fuck. And basically it go back into everything that we was just talking about. Like you always gotta be you, and you gotta learn how to pivot, how to bounce back. Y'all, you just I think a lot of times we give up on a lot of things. I was telling Pinky the other day, I used to be quick to walk away from shit. Like, bitch, fuck you. Fuck this shit. I don't gotta take it. Y'all, let me get gone. So like I
Mhm.
think you have to learn how to build the consistency with yourself. So if you say something to yourself, you got to learn how to be impeccable with your word. And this is how you construct you. You got to learn how to trust you. Trust the things that you put into yourself, the things that you've cultivated within yourself. I always like to use the example that a hammer is a tool that could be used more than one way. You could use it to build the house. You could use it to do a bunch of things. You need to just put a picture on the wall. It go from simple to complex, real quick,
Mm-hmm.
just like you. So you got to understand all of those things. Did y'all look in the mirror today?
Are you asking?
Yeah.
Yes. You know I
Yeah, I
did.
did. I
Well,
did. I
yeah.
am asking.
Like, yeah.
Okay, so I'm asking y'all, when you looked in the mirror, what you see?
Beauty at its finest.
Okay, okay. What you was looking for? What prompted you to look in the mirror?
Because I know I got to set my intention with looking in my eyes. The minute I look at myself, I know everything will be okay. Literally. I'm alive. I can see me. I know me. I feel me. I love me. And every time I look at me, I get a new understanding of divinity. Mm.
I like that. China?
Mhm. You said what prompt me to look into the mirror?
Oh, I said, when you look in the mirror, what do you see?
Myself.
Period.
I see me as an
Me.
individual, as who I am.
Hmm.
You mean as far as
Oh,
deep within?
my signal bad.
We can hear you.
She froze on me.
No.
It's on.
Can she not hear us?
Okay, you there? I can hear y'all.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Did I freeze again?
Did
But
she freeze?
still,
I
I
think she.
couldn't.
Yeah, I think she freezing.
Yeah,
Okay, did you hear me?
y'all can hear me.
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear you at all. Oh, it went. I don't know. It's a bad signal over here.
Yeah, the rain been raining.
Yeah,
I think
it's
she
been
froze
doing what it
again.
needs to do.
Oh. No,
I froze.
I'm asking like, are you asking like, when I look in the mirror, what do I see as an individual, or do I just see me, like the person staring back at me?
You tell me what you see. What you see?
I just said, okay, so let me tell you what I see. I see
Yeah.
a hard ass boss bitch staring back at me, a bitch that done overcame all type of trials and tribulations and motherfuckers that don't try to pull me down, and I'm still standing on top. And period.
As you
Okay.
should.
I feel
As
that.
you should. The fuck?
Okay.
And period.
Okay. Making money
I
and
feel
all. Let
that.
it
So what
And
we
rain. And let
okay.
it fall. Okay, let it rain. And let
Right.
it
and
fall.
clear it out.
Okay. Chicken noodle
So what
goddamn
Okay.
gone
prompts you to
soup.
look into the mirror? That's the second question. What prompts you to look into the mirror?
What prompts me to look into the mirror is me, telling myself not to give up.
Hmm.
You have to look in within and dig deep, and remove, that, doing shadow work. Do those things that you look at the things that you know you need to change. And sometimes it's hard. You don't want to see certain things that you allow yourself to give out. The energy you giving out,
Hmm.
sometimes you have to look in the mirror to see that shit in order to change it. So, or you looking at I sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, damn, I did that shit. I thought
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do it, but damn, I overcame a lot. Give myself a pat on the back because sometimes we don't give ourselves enough praise.
I feel
You
that
ain't
too.
lying.
I tell you, like, I used to hate looking in the mirror. Like I ain't like myself. Like I thought I was ugly. My nose was too big. So the mirror, I really kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. Enough is enough. Until I started playing with makeup and shit, then I was always in the mirror, and then he couldn't get me out of the mirror. And then people was like, "You can see that." I be like, "But I'm not. You really don't know." I just be
Mm-hmm.
trying shit. But for me,
Mm,
the when I started looking in the mirror, I started looking in the mirror for more of a revelation, more of a
mm.
why is this somebody that you are not accustomed to? This is always going to be you. And I would say there and I would sit there and I would say, I wouldn't change me, but if I could, maybe I'd lighten my skin tone. And then I'd be like, but Desiree, that's mean you changing yourself. So it was like, but let's just be lighter. But that's not you. This
Mm-hmm.
is you. This is your reality. And I've
Mhm.
always and I've always been able to walk in this reality in me.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may like you, some people may not. Some people may take well to you, some people may not. Everybody gonna have a different story about you. And I had to be the one to accept that. I had to
Mm-hmm.
accept that. And that's how I learned emotional equilibrium. I had to accept
Mm-hmm.
myself because I've done bad things, I've done good things, I've done things that people would deem bad. Having, I grew up in the church, having sex before marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Okay.
going to hell. Like it's a lot of things that I've done, and I had to be okay with all of those. People tell me, they'll say, you're not scared, bitch. You're not scared. What we scared of? And I'm gonna tell you something. Growing up in the church, we all knew about the rapture, and we still did what?
Did what we wanted
Like,
Mm-hmm.
listen,
to.
you did what
We
the
did
fuck
what we
you wanted
wanted
to do.
to.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
we
Like, come
still and
on,
we still doing what we want to do.
Can
hello.
do.
You ain't been scared right yet. So you sit here telling me you fear, these things, all of these things, but yet you still choose to. Nah, you gonna walk a path, walk a path. Somebody told me you gotta be the best thief you could be. You gonna be a thief, be good at
Be
it.
the,
Fuck
be,
you
be
talking
the
about.
best. Exactly.
I gotta be the best me. I gotta be the best me I could be. So you're not gonna you ain't gonna never be able to use my past against me and make me feel bad about no shit, bitch. Yes, I did do that. That is exactly what I did,
Right.
bitch. I still
Right.
have that skill. Don't try me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
have a particular set of skills.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that you should look in the mirror for reassurance?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. I think the mirror, because I always advise people on my, podcast and just on my channel, like look in that mirror because your eyes are the windows to the soul. So if you're looking at your own eyes, you can't lie to yourself. A lot of people I used to tell my Bible study, like you look yourself in the face and you be like, do you love me? And then you'll say, yeah, I love me, but you'll look away. You won't look at the mirror. So a lot of times you can catch yourself lying when you try to look away from the mirror and you're not looking at yourself because you are scared of that relationship with self. So I really do
I
think
agree with that.
it can add reassurance.
Mm-hmm.
You agree, China, or did you have something to
Oh yeah.
add?
No, I agree 100% with what she said. I recollect all the way.
Blaze.
I wanna ask you, ladies, what do you expect from life?
I don't think I expect anything anymore. I don't know. That sounds bad, but I guess I've learned within the past couple of months,
Hmm.
or year or so, that your expectations will always, not always, but they can let you down.
Hmm.
So, you can have them, But you just got to learn to deal with the outcome if the expectations ain't what you know are expecting.
So now, Pinky, what do you
I
expect from life?
feel like I expect a lot out of life. I'm be real honest. I expect life to love me. I've always lived with you do good to people and people do good for you. So I expect people to love me wherever I go. I expect gifts to be given to me wherever I go. I expect free trips, free private islands. Like I expect the whole
Girl, I
world
wish
to
I lived inside your head, girl, because baby,
I do. I
shit.
really do expect the world to just happen to me. And I've lived like this my whole life. And every time I get back in that aspect of where I expect so much from the world tends to provide it. Now, is it a slow build to that world? Yes. But does it come true? Yes. So I expect a lot. What
I like
about you,
that.
Desi Lou?
I expect everything out of life. I expect the feels. I expect the ups, the downs. When I tell people like I'm attached to the process, I mean that shit. I expect everything, but I'm with you, China. I expect nothing at all.
Right,
So it's about it's about how I make it. It's about where what I'm willing to do, what I'm
right,
not willing to do. How much I'm gonna hinder
exactly.
myself, how I'm not gonna let myself grow. If I'm sitting here feeling superior to people, then I'm that's delusion of grandeur. But then then I know I'm feeling inferior to everybody, then that's delusion. Who is that? Delusion of insignificance. So I
Yeah,
have to, and that's why I have to cultivate I'm not that competitiveness. I'm not trying to be competitive with anybody. I'm not trying to
You feel like
outdo
that's
anybody.
bad? I apologize.
What?
Cause
Feel
I'm
like what's
like, you
that?
feel like competitiveness is bad? Cause I like a little competitiveness. That's what keep me
No,
going.
I'm
I
just
like a
saying I'm not
challenge.
going through life trying to compete with anybody. I'm not trying to compete with you. I'm not trying to be better than you. I'm not trying to be.
Oh yeah, no,
That's
no,
what
no.
I'm saying. I'm not trying to be that person. I just want.
I
I
don't
just
give a
want
fuck.
what I want. If I expect everything from life, I gotta be the one to go and get it, bitch. If I want to drive a Benz, then I gotta be the one to go and get the Benz.
Right.
So
I guess because
everybody
I be
yelling
like,
at
I
me.
love a little competitiveness in like friendships, relationships. Like, I love when I have a friend and like, we're going to be like, okay, let's see which one of us is going to make 200K first. We both know we're going to make 200K. We just trying to see which one of us going to make it first. You know, you got a man and you just like, okay, which one of us is going to go and do this first? Which one of us is going to pray first? Which one is going to pray the longest? Which one of us is going to hit the most? You know what I'm saying? Like, I love a little competitiveness, but I see where it comes from too because it's like, I'm not fighting nobody outside of me. But I
Oh
also was
yeah.
Yeah,
like, I don't know. I like it.
I mean, I like a
yeah.
challenge here and there, but I understand what Desiree saying. I'm not finna compete with nobody because I want everybody to win at the end of the day. But like you said, um, you know, if you know that you guys gonna get it anyway, we just trying to figure out who gonna get there first. So
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but I just want everybody to win. If I got it, you got it. Shit. If you my family and I got it, you got it. That's just the
Mhm.
bottom line.
Mhm.
I
That's
don't
how
care
I
who
am.
get there first. I don't give a damn.
Right.
Listen, I'm gonna tell. It's like the tortoise and the hare, and that's why they tell these stories. Like that's why they
Mhm.
got all these things out there. That's kind of just like, okay, take your time, slow down, smell the flowers.
Mhm.
We all have our development rates. You feel me? So some
Mhm.
people, we might see some people is underdeveloped. We might see some people is overdeveloped. You might, and we can't compare. Comparison is the thief of joy. I'm
Mhm.
Yeah.
not gonna keep comparing myself to people. If I want to get better, I gotta go and put the work in to get better. If I'm sitting around eating cookies and creams and cakes all day, talking about, oh man, woe is me, I'm so fat, I'm so this, bitch. What you mean? You aiding in your fatness. You aiding in your demise. Come on, bro. What we talking about? You sitting here looking at everybody, sending yourself into depression, but for what? You got to get up and do something first. So I could sit here and be mad at the world. I could sit here and be depressed. Why my mama had to be fat? Why my daddy had to have diabetes? But come on, you doing what you need to do to get past what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
You knew what, and it's the same thing how we know the rap how they say the rapture coming. you know what can come because you know your family history. Diabetes running your family. This running, you got preventative techniques. Oh, I didn't know that that's how okay, because you didn't look it up. You ain't think it was important enough. We don't be ready enough to do our research. We don't be ready to delve into us. We don't be ready to talk to us, see us. We be sitting out here trying to appease to everybody else like they gonna save us. They not. They gonna make sure you good enough to help them.
And I
That's it.
always feel like it's the right people you invest your time to. Like, cause I can see, I could see all the negative stuff from comparison issues, but sometimes it's positive to compare yourself to somebody else's life because you be like, well, if I got the same drive, consistency, love, and truth they got, I'm gonna get there in no time because that's the same thing character trait that he had, and he been teaching me how to develop on. So I really feel like a lot of people got to know the right people to research, and I feel like a lot of people they are researching who they want, whether that is laziness, whether that is drugs, and pow, 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 pow. Whatever you want to do, it's just really invested in what you invest your attention to, your energy flows to.
I
But I
guess
feel
when
like
I
you can never
say,
compare your life to somebody else's life.
yeah,
Y'all
that's what I'm
walking
saying.
two
Like
different
when,
pairs of shoes.
yeah, when people be like, when people more so be like, oh, everybody in their 40s own their own houses. I'm so far behind. That's what I'm saying. Like comparison, like that.
Yeah,
So like, I get what you saying, but
yeah, yeah.
uh, there, I don't know if when you do it in that way, because I've been to poetry events and I remember going to a poetry event and this guy he was so dope and I'm like, oh my god, I love the way he put his words together. I love the way he do and I'm like, I want to write like that.
Mm-hmm.
And out of admiration for the craft, I asked myself, how do I get better?
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that seeing other people's craft can push you,
Push
but
you,
I
yeah. It,
I don't know.
it
I
can
can see how
motivate
I
you.
compare myself to him. Like, okay, my art not there yet. I know it's not there yet. But how do I get it there? I
How do
didn't
I level up?
compare and wallow. So it's about the action you put behind the comparison. So I
Yeah,
definitely get what you're saying. I,
yeah,
oh, I get that for sure, and I agree with that.
yeah.
I definitely agree with that shit.
What they say, it's always a good and a bad to everything you do. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that. So I just think and I think we just gotta stop, just like always, stop seeking attention outside yourself. Ain't what you gonna get from outside of yourself. If you take away everything, you take away your kids, you take away your family, you take away all of the things that you think that make you who you.
Shit, that's what I started to realize that myself this year. Remember when you
Yeah.
had that conversation, you was like, what make you happy? Bitch, I don't know. Cause I surround
Yeah.
myself around my family. I never just partake in set aside what makes China happy. What is it that I'm dolo on, and that is what truly is my passion, my drive, my passion and my drive have always been my family. But they finna leave. I got two that's finna be pop. They finna pop smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And then I share custody with one other one, so she gonna be here for a summer, gone for the next this and another. So what focus am I gonna do when I have no kids in the house and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and no man?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just me. So you definitely got to take the time out to kind of figure out what fucking make you happy at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. Pinky?
Wait, what's the question?
I forgot, girl. I
Look, I
forgot.
done took us on a whole nother level.
Wait, cause I said, wait a minute.
God.
That did sound good though, but I was like, wait, what's the question?
Yeah, I don't even remember the question. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know.
Because I
That
feel
because
like
it
she was
just
just
popped
talking
up.
about, huh?
It just popped up.
Yeah, because she was talking about, I think he was talking about self and just like not comparing yourself to anybody. And then she was talking about how like you can't compare yourself to anybody because when you get to that point of not
Oh,
having
who
nobody.
are you when
Yeah,
there's nothing around, when your family not there, when the
yeah.
things that you say make you you?
Yeah.
Who are you
Mm-hmm.
then?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gotta figure it out.
I don't know, cause it's crazy, but I really do use the nature, the laws. Like I use the outside to really judge my character inside. Cause if I keep meeting freaking frogs, I'm finna be for a second. Is like, why I keep meeting these same men that I know I don't like, you know? And then I
Ooh,
keep meeting these
child.
same friends. I'm gonna be like, what? Why I keep meeting these same friends that I know I'm not supposed to be with? So it really does. I feel like I use the outside world a lot of the times to actually look inside my inside world. And I don't even mean in a sense of like maybe looking at my friendships, but like I could be going to work, I could be going to this job and I keep getting certain females that going to come up to me and talk to me and have be friends with me, but I know they shady. So in what way am I shady? And I keep attracting shady ass energy. You know, like that's how I
Mhm.
feel. So I see what you're talking about when you don't have nobody around and you got to figure out who you are. But that's why I use the outside world so much, like a TikTok, like a social media, like a Pinterest, because I get to see other parts of reality. That's what I really love about social media. I get to see other continents, other countries, how other people are living, and it sparks my mind into, okay, well, maybe I do want to venture off into this. I don't know what it was, but you didn't make me look at it, so maybe I do want to do this. Maybe I do want to do that. Maybe I do want to do that. Let me go look at that. So when nobody's around, I dive deeper into the world around me.
Mm.
Mm. Was
Okay.
that part of the question, or kind of
I,
got picked
I
up?
don't know. I don't really know, but you dive deeper into the world around you.
Yeah.
Who are you?
When
Who
there's no
are
one
you
around.
when there's no one around?
Who am I when nobody's around? And then that's another thing. I don't ever truly believe I'm alone. So that's probably why. Like, who am I when I'm by myself, still just talking out loud like I got people around? I be thinking I see Bob and Joe everywhere. I don't know how to explain because I like who am I when nobody's around? Still loving, still awesome, still like I it's like that question is like I'm still the same person I am when I'm with people. I'm still just investigating more of life in the world and just trying to gain a deeper knowledge of wisdom of just so many things. So that's why I added social media because who am I when nobody's around? I be diving deeper into other worlds trying to figure out who I'm trying to be next.
I don't feel that. Who don't feel that? So, who am I? Is that what the question was? Listen, I don't
Yeah.
be keeping up with my thoughts, y'all. Anyway, who am I when nobody is around? I'm love. I'm loud. I'm I'm tender, looking ass. I'm
Tinder.
soft. I'm rough around the edges. You feel me? Shit. I'm everything all at once, but nothing at all. Shit. This what I am when nobody around. I'm
I
art.
mean, I'm
What
like
you
that when
mean?
I'm around people, so I don't know. That's
Yeah. I'm like, who am I when nobody around? Still the same.
I'm
if
still
if
the same
nobody
OG.
Yeah, if nobody around, I'm just diving deeper into what next stage I want in my life. But when nobody's around, I'm still me at the end of the day. I might be
The
a little
question
still.
was not if nobody around. If everything that you had around you didn't exist, who are you? That's what the question. Because you was like you was going through that now because you were finna lose your family, the things you
Um,
love, your family, all of those things.
well, I don't
You didn't
necessarily see.
specify in that
Yeah,
type of
yeah, yeah.
manner.
Yes, I did because you said you going through
Mm.
that now. I said without your children, without the things. I just said that, and that's what you said. You going through that
But
now.
that's like I'm all of those things. I'm all of those things all the time though. So that just I mean that was
I mean,
kind of
you still. I
cute.
mean, you still answered the question. I'm just saying, y'all just reminded me of what the question was.
Oh, okay.
Um,
But yeah, no, I think yeah. Well, I guess I'm that too. I can relate to both. Then shit, if that's the case, because I'm always like, I'm always my me. I ain't never gonna change. My character is who I am.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. And that's who you should always be. What's your message to the world?
Message to the world.
What's your message to the world?
Primo. For me. Primo. Or if you don't like the word pray, find an intention to your day. Find an intention to what you want your life to be and stick with it. Find something that you want and stick to it and stick with it, and you'll have everything you want and deserve.
I like that. I think my message to the world would be to um always put yourself first. And no matter what situation, no matter what outcome, always take care of you first. Because we as people or individual, I think Pinky said it last time. She said she was taught to love or give her last.
Hmm. That self guilt and like guilt tripping people. That that was I talking about that? Like that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That right there, I feel like that is the quickest way to really hurt yourself is when you start putting yourself last and putting others before your own meaning. It's like the giving tree. When you
Mm-hmm.
have all these branches and you keep giving branches away in life, and when you have no more branches left, what else left? What is left for yourself? You have nothing else left to give. So what can you give yourself? So put
Hmm.
yourself first in every and all things that you do.
Okay. Well, I want to let y'all know that you should definitely try and develop a mind that is unaffected by the outside world. And if I had to leave a message to the world, my message would be my life, the things that I have lived, my experiences. And that is why I have created this podcast so that we could give perspective from where we've been, where we're going, and to understand that in a moment, that is how you cultivate the future. You cannot live in the future. You cannot live in the past. You can only live in the present. And if you keep trying to supersede that or walk over that, you are forever going to be either depressed or anxious. And neither one of those are fun. So thank you so much for tuning into the immersive experience. Oh, and before I go, I just want to let you know that I want y'all to tell them where they can follow you all at again.
You guys can come and follow me on Facebook or Instagram at Victoria China. Follow my business page at Valet 8587 on IG. Come and get you a good butter. We got all type of scents, all type of fragrances that you could think of. We even got one called Fruit Loop, y'all. Be a walking goddamn cereal bar. I'm telling you.
It smells just like it too. Oh my god,
They
too
smell just like a Fruit Loop.
fruity, fruity as fuck.
But
Okay.
yep, you can come find us there.
As you know, I'm in a conversations. A safe place of discussion and discovery. Where you can find me is TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. I have Twitter as well. It's just gonna. I want to say my Twitter will be in my link in my bio for my Instagram, my TikTok, and my YouTube. So everything of that sense is in inner conversations, and the conversations is with a Z and not a S, and that's where you can find
Mm.
me. YouTube, you can find me on Instagram, and you can find me on TikTok. And I go live on TikTok a lot. I go live on TikTok every Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday, usually around from like 6. I'm not gonna say 6. No, that's be a lot. 11 p.m. between 3 p.m. You can find me. Okay. So catch me tomorrow if you definitely need more love, more truth, more honesty. Catch me tomorrow.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning into the immersive experience, and you all have an amazing 4th of July. If that is what you celebrate, I will not
Today's
be
4th of
here.
July.
Yeah, I won't be here
Oh, girl.
Thursday. I won't be doing the podcast Thursday, so
Yes,
you
ma'am. You
enjoy.
deserve some rest, girl.
I am gonna be resting. So
Okay.
that's exactly what I'm gonna be trying to do. Get some rest because if I don't get no rest,